Okay, welcome everyone to this office hour. It's our first office hour. And basically we're just going to be, talking about the content, the design week content so far, most especially week 5. I've seen rather lots of questions coming as regards the week 5 course content and how to go about the assignment. Okay, so I think we'll go over that. I'll go over that briefly before we take questions regarding previous weeks or the current week or week 6. Okay. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so of course, the week 5 is about coming up with ideas and sketches as regards your features that you want to have on your online platform. Am I breaking up? Can you guys hear me, or am I breaking up, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so for the design task it says a list of well-articulated ideas. Your deliverables are a list of well-articulated ideas from the pain points you've identified, the list of actors identified and ideas. The actors especially, I think, is kind of confusing. Okay, and then from there you move on to the prioritization grid for each actor. Okay, so I'll start first of all to talk about the actors, because I think that's the area a lot of people are having, issues. So I'll illustrate it with the example I've been using so far, which is Uber. So Uber has a user side, or no, Uber has a user side, yes, because of course it's their product. So anyone who is going to use their product is automatically a user, okay? But then within these users, they have the drivers and they have the riders. These two groups of users are referred to as the actors, okay? Because at the end of the day, they will use the Uber app, even though the interface that they might see or that they will see look, very different, and they are both independent of each other. Okay, but when Uber was developing the application for, booking rides, they thought about the driver side and then they thought about the rider side. So that's a good example to have at the back of your mind when you're coming up with your actors, who will be using your product at the end of the day. And you're going to get that information from the ideas that you come up with. All your ideas will not be carried out by only one user group. Okay, you're going to think across the board and think of everyone that will probably download your app and use it at the end of the day, or provide a solution. Okay, so it's a two-way. It's kind of an interactive thing amongst the users, because for the donating app or donating websites, we have World Citizen that will be, putting information on your online platform, and in turn, this information will be seen by the donors. Okay, so you kind of get the interaction that happens when you identify your actors, like the riders and the drivers on Uber. Once the ride is done, there's a connection between the rider and the driver to end the trip. Okay, another example is Starbucks, the Starbucks app. So you order for a drink, and it shows up on Starbucks's interface that, hey, someone just tried to order this coffee. Okay, so process it. So it's a two-way thing in that case. You order and Starbucks sees what you order before delivery. So in this case, Starbucks themselves, or whoever, the barista or whoever is handling the drinks or making the drinks, is an actor, and then you, the person ordering the drink, is an actor as well. Okay, so I hope that explanation sort of clears things up. So that's majorly where a lot of people had problems. If you have questions, you can ask them as well. I'll take them once I'm done. Okay, so before you go into your actors, of course, you come up with ideas from the pain points you've identified. Okay, so a good way to do this is to take the pain points that you have and frame them into how might we questions. Okay, let me see if I can pull up an example. So if you're able to frame your pain points into how might we questions, you can better, imagine or come up with ideas to actually solve that question, and then ultimately come up with features that you would like to have on your online platform. Okay, so let me take the pain point here. Okay, so the first pain points, that came all the way from here. Okay, so these are the pain points. So the first one here says, why is delivery fee high? Okay, so of course, if you're going to come up with idea regarding this, you're going to seek information or ask the restaurants why delivery fees are what they are. Are there ways that you can bring down the price of the delivery? Okay, so this might involve going to the restaurant and asking them, questions. And this is health concerns. So some customers might be worried about or might have health-related problems and are worried about what goes into what they'll be eating. So you can ask yourself, how might we solve for users that have, or customers that have health concerns? How might we keep their mind at rest as regards food that they will be getting or that they will be ordering? Okay, so this one says, can I pay online? So how might we enable our customers, or how might we, give our users a way to pay online? Okay, I think I left. Can everybody hear me, please?
Charles, your audio is having issues. I don't know, maybe your network is breaking. Like we hardly can hear coherent sound.
How is it at the moment?
Yeah, I think it sounds fine right now.
All right. Okay, that's okay. The connection doesn't throw me out again. Okay, so I was talking about framing the pain points into how might we question. So when you do this, you have a better idea of how you're going to solve the problems and come up with better solution ideas. Okay, and if you can't frame your pain points into how might we questions, you might have to go back to your drawing board and fix your pain points and rephrase them in a much better way. Okay, so that's what's happened here, and then we came up with some of these ideas. Okay, I think my connection is still a bit unstable. Okay, so once you're done identifying ideas from your pain points, you go on to identify your actors from these ideas as well, and then you move on to the prioritization grid for each actor. So your ideas under each actor will have, there will be ideas that will have high impact on the user. There will be ideas that will have low impact on the user, which in this case is the donor at the end of the day. And it's your job, usually it's a team job or teamwork to identify which one of these ideas are going to have high impact and low impact, and the level of effort it will take to come up or implement these ideas or solution ideas or features that you have. But because that is not the case here, that falls on you. So it's not, let's not put so much pressure on you to think too deeply about what idea is going to have a high impact or low impact. Just go with your instinct, and just go with your instinct while you're coming up with your prioritization grid, okay? Okay, so that's for task 4. Does anybody have any questions so far? No questions?
Yes, I have a question. Are the, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is free. Are the actors based on how the pain points would affect them?
Come again, I didn't get that.
Like, so you said the pain points, and I'm trying to figure out how we choose the actors. So the actors, are they based on how those pain points would affect them, or, you know, directly impact those actors?
The actors are coming from your ideas, your solution ideas.
Okay.
That's where you'll identify your actors from, because your actors, or rather ideas that you have, will not be implemented by just the donors. Okay, it's going to be sort of like a teamwork, because you have world citizen on one side and then you have the donor on the other side, and there's sort of like a bridge that they have to meet at. Okay, so it all depends on what features and what ideas you're going to come up with. And then when you have these features, you think about who needs that particular feature that you have. Is it the donor that will be interacting with this feature, or is it some other user that that you've come up with that will be interacting with this feature? So it's best to identify your actors once you have all your ideas from your brainstorming. Was that Cree? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think I want to add to that too.
Okay.
The actors, you can call them the stakeholders. So maybe actors will be a bit confusing. So stakeholders are people that you are designing for. That's just the simple, how to explain it simply. So the stakeholders are the actors, and those are people you are designing for. Let's take, for instance, you're designing a food application. So you're designing for, maybe you're designing for the delivery person, you're designing for the customer that buys the food, you're designing for the owner of the restaurant that wants to showcase their food on the food application. You're also designing for maybe the person that will manage all the host stakeholders. That's, maybe you can call it the super admin. So these are stakeholders, these are actors in your particular design. So every design has stakeholders. Those are the people you are designing for. Those are the actors. So some may have similar features, while some will have, all of them will have different features, but they will have some features that can cross over into different stakeholders. So this is how to explain it simply. Actors are stakeholders, and those are the people you are designing for. So any prioritization that you're going to make is based on what you think they really need.
Yes, anyone who would use the application would be an actor. It just depends on, it just depends on what they're doing with your application. And let me also mention, because I've seen submissions that have a variety of actors, and the question I always ask is, something I'm always concerned about is, did you was that particular actor represented in your interviews? So if you're coming up with an actor, it's always good to interview them or talk to them about whatever feature that you're bringing up, because if you're going to add a feature for some actor or an actor that you've identified, and at the end of the day, that feature doesn't work for them, then you've sort of wasted your time. Okay, so if you identify an actor and your actor is not represented in your interview stage, and you don't have some sort of information about that particular actor, it's always best to seek out for, people that fall under that actor to sort of get information from them on the feature that you're about to add for them, if you will be adding that feature in your first iteration or your second iteration, or whatever stage you'll be adding that feature. Okay. All right. So, Net, you have a question, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm really confused. So we have to take information from our interview, the empathy map, and coming up with pain points. Now, I guess I struggle a bit with actual pain points in trying to figure out, was it pain points from my interviewers, the people, my 5 people that I interviewed, or was it pain points for world organization to be able to develop online donations? So I finally flipped it back to just my 5 people that I interviewed. But if I'm not sure I have the pain points correctly, I'm really struggling with how to move on to this next task. So am I understanding that actors we're now moving from users to shareholders, or what actually the design will be for the organization that has hired us, hypothetically? Or are we coming up with actors? Because I already have 5 actors. I can't get any more. That's all I interviewed was 5 people, because that's what the assignment said. So that's where I'm confused. And I just have 2 other things. Is the answers, you just want us to type them out, but I don't know where you want me to go with this grid thing, and where is that a template? Like, I don't know if I'm the only person struggling, and it could be because I'm a visual learner, as well as I can take in, but I learn visually. I do better if I can see an example of, I'm not asking you to give me the answers, but like the starting point on where to go. I finally kind of figured out Mira, and I've been playing around with the wireframing piece. And I'm just really not certain where you want us to go with this. I'm not somewhere my dots aren't connecting. Does that make sense?
Yes, let me try to answer that, and then you tell me if...
Okay. Charles, before you go deep, I want to maybe say something on what she mentioned. So what I said earlier was, I was mentioning stakeholders, not shareholders. So stakeholders are like people, just like I explained, it's people that will use the application. So it's not necessarily people that, it's not necessarily people that hypothetically hired you. No. It's people that will use the application. Those are the actors. Those are the stakeholders.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you are trying to do is getting the issues that you've asked people in your interview. You've noted them down in your mirror board. So what you're trying to do now is apportion. This is the ideas that I came up with from these particular pain points that I noticed that the people that I interviewed had, right? So this is the ideas on how to solve this particular problem.
So actually this assignment then is, because the first time when I submitted my answer, and I think Charles is the best instructor and he's so patient with us, his comment was that my pain points were more solutions and they would come later. So I went back to reword them, just focusing on the 5 people that I interviewed and what their issues were with anyway. So so each lesson that I'm doing, I'm assuming I'm building off of my original task, right?
Yes, you are.
So that's where I guess I just need you to give it to me one more time with these actors. So technically I only have 5 actors because I only interviewed 5 people, right?
No. So look
Or
at
I'm
it this
supposed
way.
to broaden it out now.
No, look at it this way. You interviewed a certain set of people, right? Those are not
Yes.
your actors. Those are
Okay.
people that you asked questions to get a wider understanding about the solution you are trying to build. And for you to build a solution, you have to know the problems that people are having, because solutions are for problems.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
you found out the problem. That was why Charles told you that your submission was more of solutions. You shouldn't do solutions at that particular time. What you are trying to find is the problems. So once you get the problems, you now get the solutions. So this is before you get the actors, you have to get the ideas out. So it is from those ideas that you've gotten out that you know that this person is the person that is solving, that will be in charge of this particular problem. This is how this person. So just like the food I use as an example, the food delivery business. Maybe someone will say delivery fee is high. Someone will say I can't get food in my location. Right? Those are different problems. And you know that there will have to be a delivery guy or a delivery person in the mix. There will have to be a customer in the mix. There will have to be someone at the office that is taking those orders, or someone in the kitchen that is taking those orders in the mix. So these are 3 actors already that you've identified. Someone that is ordering, which is the customer, 1 actor. Someone that is taking the orders, the 2nd actor, and someone that is delivering, which is the 3rd actor. So you can also expand the actors to different depending on what you have at the moment. Depending on what you are solving, that will show you the number of actors that you need. I don't know whether that is clear.
It is clear, but I'm sorry, and then I'll go away. Now, I'm gonna stay back on these actors because I understand that we're using food, but I just like to kind of bring it into what our actual assignment is. So if we're trying to have people donate for humanitarian cause, at least that's what I came up with. But I'm not being biased, but that's kind of what I thought the organization is trying to do and make it so. My actors then are the people I need to make this thing work. I'm just not getting actors.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
This is, and Charles, please tell me if I'm wrong, but this is how I perceive this idea. We're creating a donation app. From my end, there's people that are going to come onto the app because they want to donate clothes, right?
Got that.
There's also people that are possibly going to either pick up the clothes, or they're going to be doing more of the work side. They're going to be volunteering and picking up the clothes, or they're going to be mailing out things for people to donate clothes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they're the actors, correct?
Correct. So there's going to be one user interface for the people that are actually donating the clothes, but also a completely separate interface for the people that are volunteering. So
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So what we've done so far is we kind of started with our interview script just for the main users, but we also have to think about an interview script for the volunteers as well. So you have to think.
But is it volunteers? But then you're assuming, is it volunteer? Is it paid staff?
We don't have that information yet. It is kind of assumed, but Charles can clear that up, I guess.
Yeah, you're not really assuming, because then you're coming up with ideas. Once you're done coming up with ideas from your pain points net, right?
Okay.
You're going to think about who that idea is going to affect. Okay?
Thanks, Bria.
Yeah. So like Bria mentioned, you have the people coming on the app because they want to give their clothes, right? And then you have some other people somewhere, maybe in a warehouse or at the office, who will sort these clothes. These people who are sorting these clothes, you did not interview them, but they are important in the entire process of taking care of the donation that will be made by the users. I don't know if you get me so far, Net. Hello, Net, are you there? Do we lose her? Hello? Can anyone hear me though?
Yeah, I
has
can
to
hear you.
come off of mute.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Let me see if her mic is mute. Hi, Net, are you still
Yeah,
with us?
her mic is muted.
But I see her video is on. Is she still on the call?
Hello?
Hi, Net, your mic is, okay, it's on now.
Oh, okay. I'm still here.
Okay, so I was saying, right, as Bria mentioned, there are people who will come on the app to donate the clothes. And somewhere, someplace, there are people who will take care of these clothes before eventually, distributing them to the various people who need them. Right?
Okay.
So when you have your ideas, you're going to think about, you're most likely going to naturally see that all your ideas will not fit just for one person. Some of them will probably belong to, some of them will probably have to be carried out by a volunteer or a manager. You understand? So that's basically who the actors are, people who are involved in the process, even though you did not interview all of them, but your ideas will show or will throw more light on the people who might be totally involved in the donation process. I don't know if you understand.
I do get it. It's just that I was trying to keep it connected to where we were before. So it seems like a big leap, but I get it now because we're broadening this out into the whole process of ideation, design, prototype, testing. So I get that now. I was just trying to figure out how I came up with more people if I only interviewed 5.
All right.
But now I understand the process. I think I'm getting clear.
So if you actually don't skip any process, it will be easier for you, right? So I think the process of ideation shouldn't be skipped. Once you skip that process of ideation, you find it difficult to do your prioritization.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the ideation process is where you need to put out as much ideas as possible.
Okay.
Even those that you feel they are impossible to achieve, put them out.
Okay.
Those crazy ideas that you have, put them out. Make them into sticky notes and plaster them all over your Miro board. And it will help you to get out the best ideas, right? So these are what will inform, like, let's say you have an idea that you use drone. You use drone system to pick up those clothing lines. That means you've actually introduced another actor in the mix.
Okay.
You've introduced a drone operator in the mix, right? So these are actors that come from your ideas, right? So
Okay.
once you've brought out your ideas, the actors start coming out. It's automatic.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So we have about 8 minutes left. So if we have any more questions, we'll just take them. But otherwise, we'll have to end the call and then come back. Okay. So I should probably. Okay. Go on.
Hi, Charles. How are you? I just have a quick question because I'm like at the end of the assignment, but where I'm hung up at is when I'm doing the I guess you would call it the low fidelity prototyping, when we're creating the user journey flow, how it will flow through the. Oh, I'm sorry. Echo. Should I turn it down? Is it?
Sorry, on mute step so we can hear Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah.
I don't want to get feedback. Yeah, so with the user journey flows, I'm kind of getting, maybe I'm overthinking the low fidelity prototyping, like when we're creating what the process that the user will go through. Did you want us to like actually create the visual of like what it would look like on a phone, or the examples how you had, I think I just resorted to that, to how you had like the boxes and you were showing like the sign up, sign in, and it just flowed that way. Is that okay for me to simplify it? Because I don't know how to how I would recreate like on the slides the example of a desktop or laptop and all of that. Or did you actually want those details in there?
Oh, basically, I just wanted you to come up with sketches of what your features would look like on
So
the online.
actually sketch it.
Yeah, just sketch it. You could use pen and
Okay, so that's where I'm.
pencil and paper or balsamic. So just something very simple.
Okay, balsamic. Okay, okay. So that's kind of like where I'm hung up at a little bit, because I'm at the end. It's just how do I create this like that, but
sketches. Yeah. So once you're done, you can take a screenshot. If you're doing it with balsamic or if you're doing it with pencil and paper, okay, just take a picture of it and post it on your Miro board. You don't need to submit a different balsamic link.
Okay, so take a picture of it and attach it to the Miro board as a user journey flow.
No, your user journey
now
flow. Your user flows are different.
Okay, that's the boxes.
Yeah, these are the boxes that show the steps that the user will take. Yeah, and then the sketch shows, it's sort of like a pictorial thing of, you know, the step, but this time it's showing how you're going to design it at the end of the day, what it will look like.
Okay. So
actually, you can also use Miro to do your low fidelity wireframe.
Oh.
So they have something on there that I could use to make it look.
There's, if you're on your Miro board, if you look at those places that you can get your sticky notes at your left hand side, you'll see a three dots. That's more. That's a more button. Once you click it, you see wireframe library. So from there you can just drag out items that you feel you need. If you need, yeah. So if you need a phone screen, if you want to design a browser, you just drag it out. If you feel you want a button, you drag it out. If you feel it should be a drop down, you drag it out. So this can easily help you to do your wireframe.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, so you can also use pen and paper. If like for someone like me, drawing is not my fault.
I just don't want it to look messy. I'm sorry. I'm a perfectionist. I want it to look
Yeah, so you can use this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And can I just, because I want my prototype, the low fidelity, I wanted it to be an app. Is it okay if I don't do the browser, if it's just an app, a phone app?
Yeah, you can use a phone screen there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can choose what you want to, just that you make your decisions based on the research you've done. So any decision you are making right now is not what you like or what you feel, is what you've gotten from your design. So from your research. So let's say you notice that more people that are going to be donating are going to be doing that with their phone.
Look at that.
That means you have to use the mobile app. So that's just
Ah.
So this is as if you are designing the real thing, but it's a low fidelity one for you. Yeah.
Yeah, bear in mind you're still going to do this for week 6 on Figma this time, and with connections, because I mean it's going to, well, at that stage you're going to want to test when you're adding connections and prototyping on Figma. Okay, so this is like a very basic form of a low fidelity prototype. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That helped out a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was there. I'm sitting here wrecking my brain. Appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah. So you can play around with Miro. Miro is a load. If I can use that term, is a loaded tool. So it has so many things that you just have to explore to find them out.
All the stuff is there. I'm trying to figure out how to make it.
So on your own, you can use this. You can use this particular portion to build out your favorite application. So let's say you use WhatsApp often. So you can use this application to look for things pertaining to different icons that are in WhatsApp and build it out and do the wireframing by yourself. By doing that, you also learn faster on how to do how to design basically.
All right, so we have less than one minute. The call will go off any moment from now, but if it does, we can all still join back. Okay.
Charles.
Hi.
Charles. Hi. I'm on week 5 and it's really good. I'm trying to figure this out, but I went to week 6. It's coming up on my courses, and then it's saying that I can't do week 6 until I complete the task for week 5, or something wrong.
Yes, that's how that's the setting that we had on there. Okay, so before she comes, do we still have any more questions regarding week 6 task?
Yeah, I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Hi, Charles. For the prototyping, I'm having a difficulty figuring out how to reflect 2 options. If you click a button, you're going to get a response that says it's a positive or negative response. Should I just choose one pathway and stick with that? Because I don't really know how to reflect 2 different paths, if you can understand that.
Have you thought about using a pop-up modal or dialogue or something? Probably will schedule, I'll have a call with you so I can see exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hello, Michael. So I think you're talking about decision, maybe when you want to make a decision whether to choose this, and when you choose any of them, they give you different sets of of options, right?
Another screen.
Yeah, kind of like that. You submit a picture of a photo and they reply back, yes, we'll take it, or no, we'll take it. So there's going to be two different, frames to use.
Yeah. So you have to, for each particular reaction or action that you take on any application, you design for that. So that particular yes, we'll take it should be another screen. No, we take it. Who is rejected is another screen. So you have to provide for each of them.
Yeah, I could do that for the low fidelity prototype, but when I'm trying to actually make it functional, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, you mean the prototyping?
Yeah, like so to actually like put it into effect.
I think that should be in week 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So
week
you
6.
you will learn that definitely by the time we get to that particular part. So it's possible through prototyping, you put notes together, and once you tap on this, it changes to the other screen. So that will be taught during that particular time. And it's better to use Figma for that kind of design.
Are you using Figma for your Michael?
Yes, I did. I definitely did. I don't know if I could share my screen, but I have it all done. So I have the two pictures of the phone app laid out next to each other.
If you can share your screen, please go ahead.
Oh, okay, excellent. It says it's disabled participant
Give me a
sharing.
minute, please.
Yeah, Charles, just give information.
Okay, try now, Michael.
Okay. Okay. Can you see here?
Not yet.
Oh, 1 second. Okay, can you see now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, over here, you submit the photo. This is the low fidelity one.
Mm.
And I made all this clickable in the prototype, and it goes to this one. And I don't know how to reflect, the second option.
Can you zoom
Okay.
in a bit?
Click the prototype.
The prototype? Okay.
Go to the prototype tab on your
don't
far top
No.
right.
I have a separate one for that one. This one, okay.
So I don't think he's connected it yet.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to.
I have
Okay.
connected.
You've not connected the second one.
See, it goes to submit photo, question, donation, and it just see back there. It just went to the positive response. I don't know how to go back to the negative response.
Go back to your design.
Okay. Let me just exit out.
No, don't from here. You can actually go from here. Just click this drop down. There's a drop down here in the name with the name.
Oh, okay.
Open in editor.
Yeah, it was already there's. You see the tab right beside this one is like the file itself. So
Click the prototype.
okay.
Prototype.
The tab. Yeah. So which one do you want? You have two options, right?
Yeah.
The positive and the negative.
Yes, exactly.
So how do you want it to show first?
I don't know like how to reflect that second option, or should I just skip the second option altogether?
No, so that's the decision you have to make. You have to make this. You must have two options, because maybe from your design, I'm saying that so a donation can actually be rejected, and a donation can be accepted, right?
Yes.
So it's better that you make it this way. It's better you have a screen that is like a loading screen, right? So that once it submits, it doesn't submit instantly. It waits a little. Maybe a screen that tells someone please wait. We are currently reviewing your donation, and we'll give you feedback in the next 2 minutes. Then maybe something will be going on the screen. In the next few minutes, if it's successful, it goes with the first one, positive. If it's not successful, it goes with the second one. So, but in your prototyping, you can use what we call keyframe. You can use what you call key. So click on this particular line. Let me see. This is what we're supposed to do next. That should be next the next week. But click on it. Click on one of these lines. Yeah. So you see this on tap. Click on it.
Yeah.
So you can use oh, this is a phone. This is a phone. You cannot use key gamepad or keyframe. So what you can use is so you want it to either choose one or the other. So you have to run it differently, right?
I see.
So
Yeah.
so you have to run it differently. So if it's positive, this is the positive one. So once it gets here, it branches out to the two options. So you can also select this submit can go to it's if you hover on this node, it has a plus, it should have its plus icon there.
Yeah.
If you hover on the
Yeah,
node,
that one.
so you can link it to the negative that you want. So it's now depending on what you click, that's what you take it to the other one.
Yeah, so usually what you can also do is, because if you had a developer, they probably give you a better idea to do this as well. So what you said about having a loader on your screen, and once this loader is complete, say maybe 2-3 minutes, it gives information on whether the clothing item was accepted or not. So if it is accepted, probably after 2 seconds, it transitions into the next screen. And if it wasn't accepted, it can redirect to the home screen, or you can add a button to do that. So when the clothes is accepted, there could be, then the user can click the donation options or can click say continue, and then it takes them to the next screen. But in a case where there's a negative reply from one citizen, there could be a go home button, to probably show other options of donating, probably monetary donations or something. So you having both replies would depend, because it depends on what citizen. You would have to show the process for both. So you're showing the process for the positive reply, and you're showing the process for the negative reply.
Okay.
So if you notice, this second one that you just added doesn't have the same thing with the first one. So the first one is on tap, the second one is on drag. Look at the interactions. No, at the edge, look at the interactions there. You have double interactions. No, look at the top right hand side. Yeah, so you can see the two interactions, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
So you have drag and you have tap. So those are the two things. So if you drag, it changes to this particular one. If you tap on it, it changes to the positive one, or anyhow you want it.
Could I use that to reflect the second option?
Yeah, you can. But you also have to make the user know why it is rejected, and give the user an option to maybe redonate or choose a better.
Yeah, we're gonna have another list of options for Okay, that helps. I appreciate it.
You are doing a great job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more questions before we continue?
You answered most of my Well, I did the project for this is Dianique. I did the project for week 5, so thank you. I think I did a good job based on your feedback. So thank you so much. I just wanted to give it a shot just to see how it would turn out. So I believe I have a good grasp on what the concepts are for that particular lesson. I just chimed in, so I may have missed some information, but I'll continue to listen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Veronica, do you want to, your mic is on. Do you want to say? Okay, you should just join. Okay. All right. So I think that's that for today. The subsequent class will most likely be taking us through Figma and, you know, the low fidelity prototypes and high fidelity prototypes and how to connect the various screens and elements. Okay, so that should be fun. But before then, I'd like us to practice so that if we have any challenges or issues, we can directly address those. Okay, so since there are no more questions, we'll be ending the call now. So thank you guys for coming, and I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. The next classes will be actually my favorite, Figma. So let's get ready to have fun.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.